Hi, social media friends. I am just really honored to be here with you guys today to talk about something that is super near and dear to my heart. I'm here with my uncle.
Hi, guys.
He's a huge part of our organization, and it's just an honor to be able to be here with you and talk about something that is so valuable to us. So I get the privilege to talk to you guys a little bit about our borehole, which is a word that I didn't know. We call it a well.
We say well, yeah.
It's a well.
They call it a borehole.
That we were able to build in 2015 with so much help from so many of you guys that are actually watching right now. So thank you. It's absolutely changed their life.
100%.
Water is their lifeline, and they've spent so much of their life trying to get water that we've simplified so much for them, giving them access to water for their animals and for drinking, obviously, and other things.
Sure.
So what else do they use the water for, Uncle Brad?
Well, I just wish every American could take 2 weeks and travel to somewhere and see how a large part of the world actually lives. It's unbelievable how good we've got it and how primitive other parts of the world have it. Clean water is an absolute necessity. You can make it a while without food, you can make it a while without shelter, but a couple of days without water is it. And especially during this time of COVID-19, they use the water to wash. If you don't have clean water, you can't wash your hands and care for yourself and that sort of thing. But I know when Mike first started going to Empukani, it was a tiny little village, and there was literally nothing there. And now over the last, what's it been, 25 years, I guess?
25.
They built a church and all these different things, and the borehole has been one of the really centerpieces because it brings everyone together. You kind of have to see it to have a understanding of how vast the area is and how spread out the people are.
Right.
And so the borehole gives them a reason to come to Empukani. I know Mike and Andrew and yourself, you've seen it, but before, people would spend hours or literally hours every day just getting water. Now with the borehole, they can come to this central location, and you'll see them leading a donkey with 5-gallon buckets, 10 or 15 5-gallon buckets. You'll see somebody pull up on a motorcycle and have 15 buckets, or you'll see some of the ones who live closer just come in, get 5 gallons, put it on their head, and literally take off. And so it's become a sort of a centerpiece.
To bring people together.
To bring people together.
Right.
There in Empukani.
Yeah, and when we started the project, we thought it wasn't going to be that big, and then it turned into had to build a huge water tower, had to get a diesel pump and piping and all kinds of things to really make it work for this community. And I think one of the things that we haven't talked about is the fact that they're also using the troughs for baptism, which is our whole purpose. Yeah,
that was one of my favorite days of seeing how the well gets used. Was we went over for I guess that one was a Bible study,
Bible school.
Yeah, Bible school. And after a week of Bible school and talking to people and reading them verses and just talking about Jesus and explaining the gospel and the steps to come to Jesus to them, at the end of that time, we all met at the well, and I think they baptized 278 or something people that day.
Yeah.
And it was amazing just to see them, because there's a trough where the borehole pumps into the trough and it fills up and the animals come and drink and all that. But to see the people lined up and just one after another committing their lives to Jesus and being baptized in this trough,
right,
was just amazing.
Yeah, it really gives new meaning to the term living water.
Yeah, it really does.
It's really cool. So we've talked a lot about Empukani, and the irony of that is that the word Empukani actually means land with no water. So now they have this free-flowing water. And they wanted to change the name of the village to something even harder to pronounce. So we nixed that, and we were like, let's just stick with this. But it's a really huge blessing that now they're no longer the land with no water. So just talking about, the expenses, because that's really why we're all here. We want to keep this water flowing for them. It costs about $350 a month to maintain the pump, keep it running, keep the troughs filled. So kind of a costly venture, but obviously completely worthwhile when you hear what we've been able to share. So if you are watching and you're interested, there's a way to give. It's on the screen. And I really just encourage you to pray a lot about giving. You're here for a reason. You came to this event online for a reason, not just because you're bored and stuck at home with your kids. You obviously think that it's a worthwhile cost. So just thank you for joining us. And again, I just really pray that everyone viewing would just consider giving and praying about where they're called to give. It's a big deal.